Well, again, thank you for having me today. It's an honor to be here with you all during this Spiritual Science International Meet. I'm going to be presenting today about what I call the phi scaling angle, nature's basket weave of energy coherence. And I wanted to first begin by acknowledging the birthday, the 125th birthday celebration of Buckminster Fuller. Some of you may know who he is and was. He was really a primary teacher of mine. You can see he was very involved in understanding the dynamics of the cosmos, and he did a lot to benefit humankind. And today is his birthday, so I wanted to celebrate that. And the foundation of this body of knowledge that I'm presenting about today, I call it cosmometry, and it's really the cosmic geometry of the universe. And I have a book called Cosmometry, exploring the holofractal nature of the cosmos, which goes in depth into much more than I'm presenting here today. The main sections of that book are called wholeness, starting from zero, flow process, field pattern, structural integrity, music, the master code, and consciousness in the human experience. And I'm going to be just touching into a small part of a few of these sections today as I go through this presentation about the phi scaling angle. I want to begin with this quote from the great physicist named David Bohm, who was also a very deeply spiritual man. And he had a wonderful view about the nature of the universe. I think was truly the most correct in its day. He says, "What I am proposing here is that man's general way of thinking of the totality, his general worldview, is crucial for overall order of the human mind itself. If he thinks of the totality as constituted of independent fragments, then that is how his mind will tend to operate. But if he can include everything coherently and harmoniously in an overall whole that is undivided, unbroken, and without a border, for every border is a division or break, then his mind will tend to move in a similar way, and from this will flow an orderly action within the whole." So really having wholeness be the central principle of the organizing of the universe. I know that's very common in your understanding here. And Bohm referred to this as undivided wholeness in flowing movement, the most fundamental principle in his view of physics. Using the analogy of vortices in a stream of water, Bohm said that all manifest phenomena that we call matter and energy are temporarily stable abstractions similar to what we perceive as individual whirlpools in what is fundamentally a unified flowing movement of water. The vortices in the water are each unique and appear independent from the others, yet they are all connected simultaneously throughout the entire stream in a state of undivided wholeness. This is the same for the entire cosmos, according to Bohm's worldview. Now, as we go through this journey, and as is fundamental to the cosmometry presentation overall, there are three lenses through which to perceive and study one phenomena. That phenomenon is the expression and interaction of energy, matter, and information. And those three lenses are cosmometry, which is the cosmic geometry, unified physics, which is based on the work of Nassim Haramein, who I work closely with at the Resonance Science Foundation, and music, that we're all very familiar with what that is. Now, the cosmometry is the study of the fundamental patterns, structures, processes, and systems that are inherent in manifestation at all scales within the cosmos. And so we can see the patterns are these two-dimensional symbolic representations of what then are three-dimensional forms and structures in nature and in the cosmos. And then the processes are the dynamic flow of the energy that most commonly appears as vortexes and as toruses in their flow. And the systems are the relationships of all these energy dynamics. For instance, here seen as the relationships of music. Unified physics is a mathematically and geometrically based theory that offers a long-sought resolution to the fundamental discrepancies between quantum mechanics and general relativity. It offers a practical understanding of the source of energy, mass, gravity, and the speed of light, none of which have been accurately described in prior theories as to what the source of those are. And it offers a broader context of physics as it applies to all the sciences. And music, we're all familiar with, but it has a whole nother role really in universal dynamics. It's a system of harmonic and rhythmic proportions that are inherent in the quantized nature of the cosmos. Harmonic and rhythmic proportions are characteristics of quantization itself and are the primary basis for the fractal aspect of manifestation, that which accommodates matter-energy formation seamlessly across all scales. I wanted to first begin with just touching into some core principles about wholeness itself that are fundamental to this model. And as we venture into these concepts of wholeness, we need an understanding of what they are pertaining to, especially within the context of our exploration of cosmometry, unified physics, and music. And while the following may sound simplistic given the enormous variety and dynamic complexity of the human experience, it appears that the entire cosmic phenomena of our experience and our experience of it is composed of three fundamental attributes. And these are electromagnetic radiation and gravitation, acoustic compression, and information. And these are really the most essential energy dynamics that are at play in the universe. And we can also readily describe these with very simple terms that we're familiar with: light, sound, and consciousness. And as we explore this journey, we have these three words: energy, matter, and information. And they're all describing one phenomenon here. And we know that from Einstein's famous E equals mc squared equation, that energy and matter are interchangeable when factored by the speed of light squared. Therefore, they can be understood as apparently different states of the same thing. Energy and matter are one and the same. And they are both carriers of information. And with this understanding, we view the three universal attributes of energy, matter, and information as one phenomenon. We could say light and sound and consciousness are all one and the same. And that's all that's present throughout the entire universe. Now, a fundamental principle of wholeness is what we call holographic wholeness, or the holographic principle. And while it's being debated as to whether the universe is holographic in modern physics, it's clearly the case when you just kind of really look at the picture here. Now, I use a very simple definition of what this holographic principle is, and it is the image of the whole is present at every point. And it's showing how the entire field of light that we are in, that we see, that we are made of, is completely holographic, where the image of the whole is present at every point. No matter where you put your eye, you're going to see the entirety of the view of the light field around you from all directions. That's the definition of a hologram there. And if that weren't the case, we wouldn't even be able to perceive the world the way we do. The same is true actually for sound. Sound is holosonic. The sound of the whole is present at every point. And so wherever we are standing, we're hearing the sound of the entire environment around us from all directions at every point, no matter where we stand. And the fundamental aspect of the universe is the information aspect. And we can say that the universe is hologramic, meaning the information of the whole is present at every point. Very profound when you really take this to the ultimate conclusion that the information of the entire cosmos, the entire universe, is present at every point in the universe as a fundamental principle of this hologramic nature. And the next principle of wholeness is the fractal nature of it. A simple definition, again, the same pattern repeats at all scales. We can see here in the veins of the leaf and in the tributaries of a river and in the lightning, the same pattern at different scales. And the fractalization aspect is the harmonic expression of the quantized nature. And this is very important to understand that The nature of the universe is that it's quantized, that from the smallest electromagnetic wavelength at the Planck scale, the tiniest measure